Welcome back to Peacock TV. Spoilers, the absolute best place for your daily dose of Salem drama. Peacock TV, spoilers. We have been tracking this for weeks, and the sneak peek photos for the May 15 episode of Days of Our Lives reveal a massive, earth-shattering confrontation between the DiMera brothers. Chad DiMera and EJ DiMera are sitting down for a wildly strained conversation at the Brady Pub, and the look on their faces speaks absolute volumes. This is not just a casual brotherly chat over coffee. This is a high-stakes ideological war. One of the pictures features EJ DiMera and Chad DiMera looking incredibly serious, with EJ DiMera clearly operating in full defense mode. You can actually see one of EJ DiMera's hands slightly raised, a classic defensive posture for a man who knows EJ DiMera is being backed into a corner. And let's be real for a second. There is a very good chance EJ DiMera is aggressively defending EJ DiMera's shocking, world-altering decision to bring Lexie Carver back from the dead. Furthermore, EJ DiMera is likely defending exactly how EJ DiMera went about it, which we all know involves some incredibly shady back-alley dealings with Gwen Rizchek. If you ask me, this entire Lexie Carver resurrection storyline is a masterclass in DiMera psychology. EJ DiMera has fully embraced the dark, twisted, and ruthlessly calculating legacy of EJ DiMera's father, the great Stefano DiMera. By teaming up with Gwen Rizchek, banking Gwen Rizchek's funding, and then immediately playing dirty to cut Gwen Rizchek out of their arrangement now that Lexie Carver is awake, EJ DiMera is proving that EJ DiMera is the true phoenix of Salem. But Chad DiMera has always desperately tried to be the moral compass of this deeply flawed family. Chad DiMera wants to be the good DiMera, the white knight who operates above board. Seeing EJ DiMera play God with life and death must be absolutely repulsive to Chad DiMera. But here is the kicker, and this is where the deep psychological trauma comes into play. How can Chad DiMera look at EJ DiMera resurrecting Lexie Carver without thinking of Chad DiMera's own tragic losses? If EJ DiMera has access to this kind of miraculous, death-defying science, why didn't EJ DiMera use it to save the people Chad DiMera loved? The resentment radiating off Chad DiMera in these Brady Pub photos is palpable, and the anger is rooted in years of unresolved sibling rivalry and profound grief. But the drama at the Brady Pub does not stop with the DiMera brothers, because Chad DiMera also spends some highly volatile time talking to Leo Stark. Amazing. Can you believe it? Leo Stark just cannot help himself when there is a juicy scandal brewing in Salem. The sneak peek photos show Chad DiMera and Leo Stark having a rather tense, aggressive chat of their own. One photo specifically shows Chad DiMera leaning in toward Leo Stark, with Chad DiMera's hand raised a bit, clearly issuing a stern, uncompromising warning. Leo Stark has a very stern, uncharacteristically serious look on Leo Stark's face in all three pictures. There is absolutely nothing funny, humorous, or campy about this particular chat. Considering Leo Stark is absolutely dying to know all the sordid details about the miraculous return of Lexie Carver, Leo Stark could very well be pushing Chad DiMera's buttons to the absolute limit. I personally believe that Leo Stark is playing a very dangerous game of fire here. Let me be completely honest with you guys. I passionately hate how Leo Stark operates. Leo Stark is a bottom feeder who thrives on exploiting the pain, trauma, and deeply personal family secrets of everyone else in Salem. Chad DiMera previously told Leo Stark, in no uncertain terms, to back off all things related to Lexie Carver and the DiMera family for now. But does Leo Stark ever listen? Absolutely not. Leo Stark is looking for a front-page headline, a scandalous scoop that will put Leo Stark's name in lights, completely disregarding the emotional wreckage Leo Stark will cause for people like Paulina Price and Abe Carver. Paulina Price is already an emotional wreck, crying to Marlena Evans because Paulina Price is terrified of losing Abe Carver to Abe Carver's resurrected epic love. If Leo Stark starts splashing the Lexie Carver drama across the tabloids, the news will destroy Paulina Price. I am firmly on Team Chad DiMera here. Chad DiMera needs to do whatever it takes to silence Leo Stark and protect the DiMera family's privacy, even if it means resorting to some classic DiMera intimidation tactics. Now, it is time for the Peacock TV spoilers hot take of the day, and I know this is going to spark a massive debate in the comments section, but I have to say it. Are you ready? I firmly believe that E.J. DiMera did absolutely nothing wrong by bringing Lexie Carver back from the dead, and Chad DiMera needs to stop whining, drop the self-righteous act, and embrace Chad DiMera's roots. That's crazy, right? But think about it. E.J. DiMera is actually utilizing vast resources and power to achieve the impossible. E.J. DiMera brought a beloved mother, doctor, and wife back to Salem. Yes, the collateral damage to Paulina Price is unfortunate. And yes, double-crossing Gwen Rizchek is a dirty move. But E.J. DiMera is operating on a grand, operatic scale that Chad DiMera is simply too weak to understand. Chad DiMera constantly complains about the burden of the DiMera name, but Chad DiMera is more than happy to live in the mansion and spend the money. If you ask me, Chad DiMera is being a total hypocrite, and E.J. DiMera is the only brother who truly understands what it means to lead this legendary family into the future. But wait. Because the DiMera boys are in incredibly high demand this week, and we have to shift gears to an entirely different, deeply fascinating storyline. There are also sneak peek photos of E.J. DiMera and Kat in E.J. DiMera's hospital office, and this interaction is dripping with mysterious, unspoken history. Kat and E.J. DiMera are shown talking, and based purely on their intense, closed-off body language, it is an incredibly intriguing topic. Peacock TV, spoilers. We have been digging into the archives, and spoilers for Days of Our Lives reveal that E.J. DiMera desperately wants to explore E.J. DiMera's complicated past with Kat. It has recently been discovered that Kat and E.J. DiMera were actually in the exact same rehabilitation facility in Italy, and that Kat used to read the classic novel Wuthering Heights to E.J. DiMera while E.J. DiMera was trapped in a coma. Can you believe it? That is absolutely mind-blowing. Wuthering Heights is not just a random book choice. Wuthering Heights is a meticulously calculated clue from the writers. Wuthering Heights is the ultimate story of dark, toxic, all-consuming, and highly destructive love. The novel is about obsession that transcends life and death. The fact that Kat was whispering this specific tale of gothic obsession into the ear of a comatose E.J. DiMera in a shadowy Italian facility is giving me absolute chills. This perfectly mirrors E.J. DiMera's notoriously toxic, push-and-pull romantic history with Sammy Brady. Is the show setting up Kat to be E.J. DiMera's brand new, dark obsession? Let's dive into some predictive lore here, because my mind is racing with fan theories based on the internal logic of Days of Our Lives. Whenever we hear the words Italy and DiMera in the same sentence, we know that we are dealing with secret laboratories, mind control, memory manipulation, and the infamous Dr. Rolf. I personally believe that this rehab facility was not a standard medical center at all. If E.J. DiMera was there, recovering from near-death experiences. What else did Kat see? What other dead Salem residents were hidden away in that Italian compound? I theorize that Kat knows the darkest, most heavily guarded secrets of the DiMera enterprise. That could be exactly what Kat and E.J. DiMera are talking about in these tense sneak peek photos. There is so much more to the story of Kat and E.J. DiMera being together in Italy, and E.J. DiMera is likely trying to gauge exactly how much of a threat Kat poses to the DiMera empire. Then again, maybe E.J. DiMera is simply shooting E.J. DiMera's shot with Kat. E.J. DiMera is a wildly charismatic, deeply manipulative man who knows exactly how to use romance to neutralize a potential threat. E.J. DiMera is currently playing a very dangerous game of chess. On one side of the board, E.J. DiMera is ruthlessly cutting Gwen Rizchek out of the Lexie Carver resurrection profits. On another side, E.J. DiMera is battling Chad DiMera for the moral soul of the family. And now, E.J. DiMera might be using undeniable charm to seduce Kat and ensure that whatever happened in that Italian facility stays buried forever. E.J. DiMera knows that keeping enemies close is good, but taking enemies to bed is even better for maintaining absolute control. The sheer volume of drama surrounding the DiMera brothers right now is staggering. Chad DiMera is fighting a war on two fronts, trying to hold E.J. DiMera accountable for playing God with Lexie Carver, while simultaneously trying to physically intimidate Leo Stark into keeping Leo Stark's mouth shut. Meanwhile, E.J. DiMera is juggling the betrayal of Gwen Rizchek, the emotional destruction of Paulina Price and Abe Carver's marriage, and a deeply mysterious Gothic romance with Kat. The legacy of Stefano DiMera has never been more alive in Salem, and these two brothers are the absolute epicenter of the earthquake that is about to tear this town apart. So, I have to pass the question over to you, the most brilliant soap fans on the internet. Do you agree with my controversial hot take?